Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Entitled Parents. Story 1. Mistaking who the real entitled parent was. I was flying home yesterday and encountered an M in the wild, but then realized that the M was not the biggest problem. So we board our 2-hour delayed flight, due to thunderstorms. Shockingly, the plane was not full. Before we can make a move, M puts 7-8-ish kid in the seat right in front of us. Despite being 2 seats back and on the other side. Sigh, fine. Kids not too bad, but had to have the flight attendant tell them they had to sit up for takeoff. Remember the thunderstorm I mentioned? Turns out the turbulence was bad. We are all waiting for the seatbelt sign to turn off when kid gets up and goes back to M about their music stopping. Fa gets on the speaker and pretty pissed off is like, "Get back to your seat." Kid goes back. A few minutes later M moves up. I think Fa is just in shock and fuck it, this time it's an adult. While M is fixing kid's stuff, passenger in row across from kid gets up and pulls something out of his carry-on. Based on the flirting with Fa, let's call him CP for creepy passenger. Finally, we get through the turbulence and seat belt sign is turned off. Woot! Drink service starts. Poor Fa has trouble getting CP to let her get through the service. Kid keeps going back to M. M keeps fixing things and trying to get kid to nap a little. I understand we did arrive at 11:30 due to delay. CP gets to drinking and making inappropriate. Story 2. Grandma offended that I don't like to be kissed. I have never liked to be touched. To keep it simple, I was abused growing up, and the majority of the time when people touched me, it was to hurt me. So all around, I don't like to be touched unless I initiate it. Me. Aunt's mill, grandma. Aunt's husband, son. I spend a lot of time with my aunt and her family, and her mother-in-law does as well. Grandma greets everyone with a kiss. She is so determined to do this, that one time she yanked my head back while I was distracted on my phone and kissed me. I was uncomfortable every time she did this, even more so because we're not close, or related by anything more than marriage. Finally, I say something. Me, grandma, I know this isn't your intention, but the hugs and kisses when we meet make me uncomfortable. For a lot of reasons, I don't like to be touched. Would you mind not doing it anymore? Grandma, but I kiss everyone. Me, yes, but it makes me uncomfortable. Grandma, well, the Lord says we must greet everyone with a holy kiss, so I won't stop. Me. Son, claps, well said, Mom. Me, now annoyed, it isn't well said to tell someone you won't respect their boundaries. Son, but the Bible says to greet everyone with a kiss. This is what good Christians do. Me, I'm not Christian. Grandma and son, shock and offense. I never directly stated my beliefs to them before because my family is very religious, and I didn't want the fight. But I wasn't going to let them use God into shaming me to back down from a reasonable request. Son, then who do you worship? Beelzebub? Me, now very annoyed. Grandma, well then, fine. You don't have to worry about me kissing you, because I'll never touch you again. I feel sorry for you and where you're going to end up. Me, still polite, I'm sorry if this offends you, but it just makes me uncomfortable. Grandma, more. Story 3. Mom cussed me out after I stepped in her daughter's puke. I kid you not. I need to preface this with, I am not a confrontational person. At all. It happens while I am some new shoes for my kid at a clothing store. I get ones with little Velcro straps and I am headed to the cash register when splush I step into something slimy. I look down and am horrified. It's puke. Pink and blue chunky vomit. A stranger's pink and blue chunky vomit. Oh. My. God. I am unable to move for several seconds because I'm in so much shock. I look around for someone to help me. Help me what, exactly? Move? Clean up? Burn my shoes? I'm still not sure. Then I see a little girl, 9 or 10, sitting on the floor and her mom crouched next to her. Unsure of what to do, as I have never stepped in a stranger's vomit before, I approach them and stand 4 feet away. Me, hey, did she throw up? Because I just stepped in it and maybe someone should go. Get the fuck away from me. Me, I'm not mad, I just. Get the hell out of my face, bitch. Me, have you told a worker? I said get out of my fucking face. I was in shock and thought I was going to get beat up, so I walked away, my shoes squishing with puke beneath me. I told a worker and they took care of it quickly. I cried on the way home. Maybe her kid had a medical condition and throwing up is really bad? Maybe she was just under a lot of stress? Who thinks their kid can barf in public and they don't have to take care of it, and then cuss out the stranger who points it out. Story 4. My entitled father and stepmother kidnapped me, resulting in me having trust issues. Before I start, this happened in 2018 on the 25th of December and ended in April or May of 2019 when I was 10 to 11. On Christmas I went to my nana's for the day and did what any kid would do on Christmas. My entitled dad was there with entitled stepmom who were talking to other adults. When it came for everyone to leave, my entitled stepmom was telling me and my brother to go with them, which I thought nothing of it because I thought I was staying over with them for a week. Oh boy, I was wrong. When it came to the second months, my entitled stepmom was trying to get me to call he mom. I don't remember the whole conversation, but I think it went like this. Her mom, I mean entitled st, no, call me mom. I am your mom now, so don't worry, I meant entitled stepmom. A day later she was asking if I wanted to go back to my real mom and I felt like I was being forced to say no. The thing that made me say I wanted to go home was this: my entitled dad said. The night before I threw up and could call for them because it didn't feel right, because this was the first time I had seen my dad in a while, and in the morning I get shouted at. Why didn't you tell anyone? Instead of being lazy, actually do something for once. That was the thing that did it. When I got asked if I wanted to go home again, I said yes because I was done with them. Another thing is that they didn't even celebrate my birthday. Something I forgot to mention, throughout the time I spent with them they A changed my second name, B sent me to a different school, C lied to me, and D ruined every holiday for me. Not too long ago entitled stepmom made me cut full contact with everyone on her side of the family because I was apparently dating a 10-year-old, because all I did was swear. I didn't have a filter, but as of right now I'm fine with my language. I barely use curse words anymore. They have 2 kids and only one I actually contact from time to time. Story 5. What happens when you have 0 FCKS left to give? So I'm in the process of healing my own codependent behaviors, but my parents are both codependent as well as completely enmeshed and completely in denial that they play any part in me stepping back from the relationship to which they feel they are completely entitled. I've been their Google, tech support, therapist, financial advisor, and general support person for the last 25 years. Laser focused because I'm the only child, so all their focus was on me, engineering situations to control their outcome, etc. Expectations that all holidays are spent together, that I would stay within close geographic proximity to them my whole life, that I would be available at the drop of a hat and include them in every aspect of my life. I'm over it. They wore me out. I prioritized them over myself, my husband and my own life for 20 plus years, and I'm done. They are older and my dad is disabled with Parkinson's, but I am done being their person. I did it for so long that it's like all my F***CKs have been used up. I have none left to give. I can't just maintain NC forever because they keep calling and coming over unannounced. My mom does. Is there any way to make these people see that I am 50 years old and they need to get their own life, and if they feel it's too late for them to do that, to not expect me to give up my life to care for them? I'd like to have a relationship, but if I give an inch, they'll take 10 miles. Story 6. I need advice. Where to start? Alright, so my grandfather and I have provided a car and maintained these cars for my mother for about 15 years roughly. I can't count on two hands how many cars the two of us have given. My girlfriend and I are now moving out of state, which she also said I was abandoning her, but that's another story. I won't give her our remaining cars. I sold them. She can afford to maintain them nor try to save too. I warned her when I gave her my old truck 2 years ago that I can't do this anymore, and she still was able to guilt me into maintaining it. How do I make her stop guilt-tripping me? Does anyone else have to provide a car and maintain it for their parents? FYI, I'm an auto technician. The truck I gave her is to the end of its life, but I am not in a position to buy or give her anything. Cars have gotten so expensive even for junkers. Story 7. Okay, not then if it's hard to help. This takes place in Finland. In winter you might have to clean your car of ice and snow in the mornings. It takes a while and is not exactly enjoyable in a freezing weather. Screenshot in Finnish. EP equals entitled parent N equals neighbor. EP, hi neighbor. I was thinking that you have morning shifts for this week and you go to work an hour earlier than I do. Is it too much to ask if you scrape the windows, to remove snow/ice, of my car at the same time as yours? I take my kids to daycare, it's quite a hassle in the mornings. Alright. N, hello, well I won't be scraping. There's enough with my own car. Just reserve more time to leave in the morning. EP, okay, not then, if it's hard to help. Thanks. Story 8. You must uphold all your life every time I need you, my mom's story. Sorry for any misspellings, English is not my first language. I, 25F, am an eldest daughter of heavy Catholic Latin parents. I was raised to respect, obey, and serve my parents for the privilege of being born, being fed and being cared for. All of these things could be revoked at any time, if my behavior was not up to their standings. Growing up, I was my brother's parent since he was born. I was 7 at the time. I developed anxiety early on, as any minor inconvenience was my fault. The milk spilled, the traffic was bad, the house was a mess. Whatever it was, even a bad day at her job, would make my mom explode on me. It would go from guilt-tripping and silence treatments, to straight up ignoring me. You hungry? Make yourself food. You have to go to the doctor? Take the bus and pay for it yourself. All that while expecting me to keep the house clean, my grades up, my brother well fed and bathed, his homework taken care of. It all came to a breaking point this week. My mom has a small grocery store, and because of some legal problems she can't have any money or business in her name. So after a lot of guilt-tripping she convinced me to put it on mine. I would work there on the weekends and she would let me shop for free. But it also meant that any money she needed had to go trough me. Yesterday, she needed a transfer to pay for some fees. I usually have my phone near me and do everything pretty quickly, but I am a full-time teacher and was working yesterday when she texted. I was away from my phone for 20 minutes while I was teaching. Her first text was at about 4 p.m. Less than 5 minutes later, I got a call and a message. 10 minutes later, another 2 calls and an audio message, saying this situation was unbearable, I was a horrible daughter who would never help. I was mess and a disgrace, for I would never be there when she needed me, and I could undo all that was on my name for she would find someone who would actually help. She also said some slurs and yelled a lot on the audio message. When I finally got my phone and saw this, I started crying. There were no students on my class, but the other teachers caught me having a panic attack on the teacher room. They helped me calm down and I went back to class, all while she was sending me multiple posts on Instagram about letting go of toxic people and how some people only bring you down. So I left work and went to see her. She barely looked at me, didn't even talk to me. I took the credit cards on my name, transferred her money out of my account and closed the device on my name at the store. I also closed the bank account she used and made sure nothing was on my name legally before leaving. I am sad, angry, and hurt. This was long coming and it was not the first time a situation like this happens, but it's my last straw. I just know that she has no one else to help her, and in about 2 weeks when she needs me again, I will get dramatic calls asking why I don't visit anymore, and if I can help her in just a tiny thing. She will come back all loving and caring like this all never happened, and I am scared that I will be too weak to say no. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.